Greetings, my friends. Welcome to the Real Talk Show. I'm super excited. Give me a moment as I make sure everybody is able to get tuned in and that the show is going to be an amazing show. I'm very happy to be back. Give me 1 second. And as I make sure everything is awesome, I'm going back now to make sure everybody is able to hear me. I'm going to also check to see social media because I know how that is. So I hope you guys are having a great evening. I don't want to take up too much of your time. Again, thanks so much for joining the show. I'm super happy to be here with you. And give me a second as I do sound check. Everything is working. So now I'm coming to you on the show. I'm very excited. So many different things are taking place in this season. And so what I first want to do is I first want to say thank you to all of you over the past couple of weeks. You guys have been phenomenal. You've been patient. You've been just great. And before I even, just jump into my commercials and things like that, I first want to just give a thank you to all of my friends, my fans, those that are supporters from the bottom of my heart. Thank you so much. Now I'm going to get right into the show. So first things first, welcome to the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White. If you've not been on the show before, welcome. First things first, like I said, the Real Talk Show, it will be aired on SoulNet WKDH radio station every Monday through Friday. From 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please visit www.soulnetwkdh.com to tune into the show throughout the week. Thank you so much to Ken and Tiaja, the team, everyone. Thank you. You guys are incredible. And I'm super excited. Please be in tune about the SoulNet WKDH show because they've got some amazing things that are taking place. And they're going to be involved in a couple of events to come in the future, especially in the Gainesville area, Ocala area, Marion County, Alachua County. So if you're in those areas, definitely make sure to tune in. In addition, I wanted to remind you guys as well that the Real Talk Show with Dr. India White will also be featured on Swain Girl Media Channel, which is hosted by Precious Swain on Firestick. So tune in to Precious's channel to find out more on that. Thank you, Precious, for always airing the show and for your faithfulness and your hard work and your example. I appreciate you. In addition, guys, you've got my social media links here. I would love for you to follow me on Facebook. My Facebook handle is Miss India White. That's MSINDIAWHITE. My LinkedIn is The India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. My Instagram account is Indie238. And my YouTube is India White 123. So please go ahead and tune in there. Furthermore, please check out my website. So many people have been asking, hey, I would like you to come speak to our students. I would like you to come speak to our business or speak to our school, like professors, or speak to our church event, whatever. There's my website, www.india-white.com, and you'll see that there are tabs on the website where you can go and request for speakers. You can look at courses. You can look at books. Just different opportunities are there. So please make sure that you visit the website whenever you have a chance, www.india-white.com, and tune in there. Furthermore, I want to dive into our topic today. But of course, before I do, I want to definitely give a shout out and an honor to my mentor who passed away, Dr. Clyburn, who I did feature our show with him before last week because I was not quite ready to come on the air. And I don't even know if I'm ready today. I pray that I can make it through the show without breaking down in tears before all of you, because he was a wonderful, wonderful friend, a mentor. Oh my goodness, a father figure. I'm trying to keep it together here. And so I want to honor him with this show. And excuse me, I'm so sorry. Just it's tough. It's tough. And I want to thank each of you for your constant support um for all of us that are grieving his loss. Okay. Um excuse me. So I wanted to come on the show today to talk about the power of a mentor. And I wanted to do this, excuse me for my emotion, in honor of Dr. Kleiber, who's passed. I tell you, Dr. Clyburn wasn't paid any money to mentor me. He wasn't forced to do it. He did it out of the goodness of his heart. Excuse my emotion. And he made the world of a difference in so many lives, not just mine. And now that he's gone, I still hear his voice ringing through the halls of my soul as I do research, as I talk to teachers, as I write curriculum, as I prepare speeches, as I prepare educational presentations. I can hear him and I can feel his spirit. I can sense what he would say to me, what he would want me to say to the people. And the power of a mentor is just that even after you're gone, you're still impacting lives forever. And it's beautiful because you can't measure that, you know? You have no control. You don't know how far your reach will be. This is why we have to be very careful when we go to sign up to be a mentor so that we can be successful, because it can go phenomenally well, but it could also backfire if you don't do a good job. Please excuse my emotion on the show. This is the first time I think I've cried on my show. And something told me I might have needed to wait. But long story short, here I am. Thanks for letting me be human. So we're going to talk again today about the power of a mentor. This is in honor of Dr. Kleiber. This is in honor of Vicki Oldham, in the honor of Mother Sharon, who was a wonderful mentor to me. And so we're going to talk about mentorship and the power of a mentor and how you can possess that same power. So first things first, let's start with the definition. So a mentor is an experienced or trusted advisor. Okay. And I was looking up some research for us today, and it says that 71% of Fortune 500 companies have mentoring programs. Guys, that's 71%. That's a lot. It's more than half. So that goes to show mentoring is a huge part of success in the lives of everyone. And believe it or not, even when you might feel like, oh, I got this, I don't need a mentor, there's probably a blind side, or a blind spot in your own life that you're not even aware of, that your mentor could see and point out. I know for me, Dr. Clyburn he had a way of pointing my blind spots out. What was really funny, I remembered one time I left a voicemail. And I said some verbiage on the voicemail. He called me immediately. And he says, India, nope, that's not going to work. Change voicemail. Here's why. And he just started going through a litany of just different perspectives, different lifestyles, different demographics, different, just being considerate of everyone, things that I took for granted. And I was like, oh my word, but it was just so funny the way he brought it to me. And I miss that so much. But I say that because you never know whenever a mentor, um, what type of impact and how they'll help you. You might start out with the mentor in your life, and you might think, oh, okay, I need them to mentor me in business. And so you think, oh, they'll only help me in that. But you might actually be blessed with more than that. So it might not be just mentoring with business. It might be they can help you with emotional intelligence. They can help you with your confidence. They can help you with image. I loved Vicky's mentoring, my mentor Vicky, because when I first started with her, I mean, I was just a teenager and I didn't know anything about how to dress professionally. I mean, yeah, I went to church, but I mean, I didn't know, I wasn't really in the arena. She was a journalist. She knew all about it. I used to go to her job with her and I used to sit on the side and watch her work. And I used to watch her, and I don't even think I've ever shared this with Vicky. So if you're watching Vicky, you'll see this. But I used to go and watch Vicky perform. She was a news anchor and she was beautiful. She would just light up the room. She was so pretty. She just the pinks that she had on matched, and I mean, just everything was great. Her enunciation was spot on. She knew what she was talking about. She knew how to bring out the emotion, and it was successful night, successful night, successful night. And I adored that. I adored her for that and for her example. But through watching her, I learned a little bit myself. She taught me about professionalism. She taught me about image. There are so many different things. And yeah, there are areas that, we even agree to disagree at times. But for the most part, there have been times I've been like, Vicky, I'm getting ready to be interviewed for this magazine. What do I wear? Vicky, I've got to get interviewed for a newspaper. I remember talking to her about this once. I was interviewed, I think, by the Gainesville Sun. It was a brand new teacher. I didn't know. I had all these news cameras in my class and all this. And I was like, oh my word, like, Vicky, what do I wear? What do I wear? She's like, you need to wear these type of colors. This fits your complexion or this, da, da, da. Things that I just took for granted. And then I just went down her list and, it was a success. And so I say that because you just never know the power that you'll have as a mentor and that a mentor can have in your life. So definitely be open-minded when it comes down to embracing having a mentor. Now, also, looking here, coming from the guiderai.com, it also says that 37% of professionals, have a mentor. Okay, so 37% of professionals have a mentor. And so that's pretty interesting to know because it seems like mentoring works even for professionals. So if you're like, oh, mentoring is only for kids that have problems or mentoring is only for people just getting started. Well, guess what? Mentoring is for professionals. And people will tell you as well that if you're really working on yourself, self-care, self-love, things like that, you need to have a mentor because it's just the way of work now. Okay, I looked and I did some more digging. And it says here, same source, it says that 87% of mentors and mentees, they feel empowered by their mentoring relationships and they've developed a greater confidence. So this is so true. Thinking back when I was working on my dissertation, I called Vicky and I called, Dr. Clyburn, and I just told them how I was nervous, how I wasn't sure. And, both of them gave me pep talks and, just Dr. Clyburn had a way of keeping you level headed and had a way of just keeping you assured and knowing that you had what it takes, but keeping you humble, bringing you back to earth. I love that. And so it was just really neat to have them in my life and in my ear to speak to me at a time, where the pressure was tough and a lot. I'm going to try to stop thinking about the great moments because I'm trying to stay focused in the show here. And it's just all the love, is still there. But anyways, let's keep moving forward. So here it says millennials intending to stay with their organization for more than 5 years are twice as likely to have a mentor than not. So think about it. So if a millennial, and the thing I love about millennials is that millennials, they're real. Like they don't fake well and they don't have a lot of patience for fluff. And they either like you or they don't. And they're straight to the point. But if they like you and you convince them that, you're worth partnering with, whatever, they will go to bat for you. They'll do anything for you. I love that about millennials. And so the fact is that they're 5 years, if they're with their organization, they're going to stay twice as likely stay for more than 5 years or so if they have a mentor. And I think that's because they don't have the patience or tolerance for, just sticking it out kind of a mentality. They'll go somewhere else. I love that about them. Okay, now let's keep moving. Another thing here, it says 89% of mentors believe that their colleagues value their work compared to 75% of those who do not have mentors. So not only is the power of mentor effective in how a mentor can teach you things, it can also shape your mindset. It can bring awareness. It can bring optimism, positivity, right? And a fresh perspective, like how these people that have mentors say that their colleagues do value their work, versus the 75%. And I think that's because when you don't have a mentor, it's tough to kind of gauge vision and direction. So you can have so much vision and direction, but then not know how to really go about unfolding it and how to manifest it. Whereas when you have a mentor, a healthy mentor, then a mentor can kind of scaffold you through that success, if that makes sense. So it's very imperative that you have a mentor. Okay, let's keep going. So some other facts that I was able to find for us today, it says 79% of millennials see mentoring as crucial to their career success. I completely agree with this. I can't tell you how many times I've spoken to mentors about certain occupations that I've had, certain opportunities presented to me. I had an opportunity presented to me and it sounded phenomenal. And then I had a mentor tell me, hey, what about your children? Is that best fit for your children? Are you going to leave your children behind? Like, you've got to think about the whole picture. Whereas I wasn't thinking about that. I was just thinking of the pay, so, and then I had a situation where I needed a letter of recommendation and I called my mentors. Hey, I need a letter. Hey, I need a letter. And sure enough, I was able to get certain opportunities because I had a mentor. Or even, which I know today it was aired about Gators 40 under 40. I'm thankful to be an honoree for Gators 40 under 40. But guess what? My mentors wrote the letters of recommendation. So sometimes our success, you can't become successful unless you have someone that's in your corner that is a mentor. You know what I mean? So it's imperative that you have those people, real mentors, people that really support you, not people that are just doing it to check a box or to cover themselves, but someone that really, they've taken a step back to observe your life and they made a conscious choice that they want to be a part of your life and they want to help you be successful. So that's what you're looking for when it comes down to mentorship. So as you can see here, there's so many things pointing to the fact that mentorship is an absolute guarantee for your success. Okay, now I want to now talk about 10 reasons why you need a mentor. 10 reasons why you need a mentor. Okay, so, and I got this from Indeed.com, their career advice. So it says 10 reasons why you need a mentor. For one, it increases your knowledge. Okay, so this is great to know because guess what? We don't know it all. So our mentors do help us with that. So it's great to know, okay, I need a mentor. It'll increase my knowledge. Two, you'll need a mentor for constructive criticism. So whenever you have a mentor is great because they're able to give you feedback in a way that is loving, but it might be a rebuke, you know. So you can't really always take, that personally. Okay, give me 1 second, guys. Okay, I'm back. Now, another reason why you need a mentor is because of personal growth. So, a mentor is great because they're able to kind of help you personally with different things that you're dealing with, whether that's emotional intelligence. Maybe you're dealing with understanding this diverse world and you're not quite sure how to take it all in. So, guess what? A mentor can help you with that as well. A mentor can help you with words of encouragement because it gets lonely out there. And sometimes you're getting eaten up by wolves and sharks. And, there's so many different things that come your way that you're unaware of that a mentor can help you with. So a mentor is great for words of encouragement. And I'm thankful because my mentors have been very great at providing words of encouragement. I can remember as far as when I was just a teenage youth. And yes, I went through counseling and all of that. I needed to. And there's nothing wrong with admitting that. I went through years of counseling because I dealt with hardships that I would not wish on anyone. And but my mentors were so encouraging and they would focus on the things that I was doing right. Oh wow, India, you made straight A's. Wow, you got 100 on that test, or wow, you played that saxophone really well, because they knew that if I continued to focus my energies on the negative, it wouldn't change anything, right? And so it's great to have a mentor that can give you words of encouragement because you never know when you're going to need that cheerleader in your corner. And then when they're gone from you, you still have those positive words ringing in your soul, ringing in your heart, where you know that you do have value, you do have purpose. And so it's great to have words of encouragement from a mentor. Another thing a mentor does for you, and the reason why a mentor is an asset, is because they do establish firm boundaries. Now, I think out of everyone that has mentored me, Vicky is the queen at establishing boundaries. Vicky, if you know Vicky, she is no joke. She does not play the radio. She is not shy about telling you no. And you know, when I first started hanging out with Vicky, I was not used to that. So it kind of took me a time and I was like, ooh, like, gosh, she's tough, but it was what I needed. And it kind of kept me rooted and grounded, but it also taught me how to respect others and boundaries. And so I'm so thankful for that. So mentors will teach you that. In addition, Mentors are great for unbiased opinions because they know you. So it's really neat to have someone that knows you, but then they care enough to not, tell you something only because, they know that's what you want to hear. They're there to sincerely help you, and you either take their advice and get better or you suffer the consequences. Now, I would say, make sure that, if you have a trusted mentor, make sure they're trusted first before you're just running with all the advice that they give you. You might have to vet out your mentor as well, and, make sure that they're proven and tested, and that what they're telling you is good advice for you. But once you know that they've been telling you the right information, I would say it's okay to trust them and to trust what they're saying. Okay. Sometimes mentors don't say a lot, but sometimes they've walked the exact route that you're walking. And even though they're not like saying, oh, well, I did that 10 years ago, they're telling you the conclusion because they've already gone through it. I had a similar situation like this with one of my mentors. I was telling my mentor about some things I had experienced. And it was like to the T. They knew exactly before I finished my sentence what I had gone through. And I'm like, oh my word, how do you know that? And well, yeah, I went through that 15, 20 years ago. And it was just like, oh my word. So sometimes it's great to have that mentor because they're going to have those unbiased opinions and they'll be able to help you. And you'll be able to take those nuggets and save them when you need them or use them right away. Another thing about mentors, that is a great thing, is that they also, not only do they have the unbiased opinions, mentors also are trusted allies. And I'm getting all this from Indeed.com. So a mentor is a trusted ally, and basically, that's your friend in your corner no matter what, even in the tough times. Vicky, I'm gonna give her another shout out because Vicky has known me for more than half my life. Um, she knew me when I was really a handful. People that know me now, I mean, I'm pretty professional now. You know me. It is what it is. But when Vicky knew me, not so much. I was a teenager. There were times Vicky would call me. I wouldn't return her call for like a month because I was just busy doing other things that I was not considerate. There were times Vicky taught me so much. And she taught me so much about professionalism. I could go on and on. But long story short, she knew me when I was a handful. And so she's been a trusted ally in my life. And so it's good to have someone like that. Because sometimes family, you can't always go to family about pressing matters. Sometimes you have to go to others that they might not know your everything about you, and they can give you that support and help you. Family is good too, though. If you have it, cherish it. It's great. However, it's always good to have another set of eyes that aren't family to kind of look and steer you and help you out. Okay. All right. The next thing a mentor will do, they help with goal setting. So I love this about mentors, and my mentor Sharon was great at this because, when I was younger, I wasn't quite sure if I wanted to go to college or what I wanted to do. But Sharon was able to kind of give me some realistic goal setting, like, okay, well, what do you want to do 5 years from now? What do you want to do 10 years from now? And I had to give an account. I had to give an answer, and because of that, it kind of taught me a way of life that no matter what, to goal set and to have goals and dreams and desires, but to also be realistic. Back in those days, I wanted a PhD in mathematics. I didn't quite get that. I mean, I didn't get a doctorate in educational leadership. I did major in math, but I didn't get the PhD, but I still had a goal, and that's what mattered. Some people are trying to do life all by themselves with no goal, no vision, no help. And it leads to a lot of frustration because yes, they're great. Yes, they've got great ideas, but they've not figured out yet that that connection with the mentor is so powerful. But make sure you have a mentor also that is called to serve you. If they don't have it, an innate desire to serve you, it could hurt you. Okay. I've gone to people before and I've been like, hey, can you be a mentor to me? And it was like, after a little while, I had to take a step back and watch and say, wait, maybe I don't need that person in my life like I thought I did. And so some people are trying to force people to be a mentor. And I want to say something about that. It should naturally flow. If somebody doesn't want to mentor you, that means something's off. It might be the wrong timing. It might be chemistry, right? They might see you as a threat. There's so many different things going on. They might have something they're dealing with where they can't really serve at that capacity because they've got so many other things going on in their life. But I'll tell you this, if somebody is called to be a mentor, they're going to be a mentor. And no, you don't have to have them sign a contract to be a mentor. They will naturally be a mentor. The best mentors I've had didn't sign a contract to be a mentor. They just stood up and did it. They just paid it forward. Those are the best mentors to have. So I digress. So an example of a mentor can be someone's mom, a dad, uncle, brother, sister, cousin, community stakeholder, a lawyer, a teacher, doctor, anyone that has a willing heart. Again, anyone that has a willing heart. I've gone to people, I've asked people to be mentors. I still have a couple of people I've asked, and I'm still waiting on a response. And then I have people I've not even asked that are like, hey, I would love to take you under my wing and show you some things. You know, I'm going to tell you this. People are smart, right? If you go to someone and you ask them to be a mentor in your life and they have not given you a response, or for some reason, it's just not working out, the answer is probably a no. And it's probably beyond you, especially if that person is in communication with you, some level, they're in your life and they still have not gotten back to you and they're not intentional. The answer is probably no. Is it your fault? Maybe not. They might be dealing with their own. I had one person, gosh, what did they say to me? So one person was hesitant to mentor me because they felt like they could not connect with me regarding some of the things that I've been through personally. I had to respect that. Great lady, but I had to respect her. Great colleague moving forward, right? Then others see the same thing and they're like, I've been through that same exact thing. And even though I don't tell people what I've been through, I know exactly how to guide you through that. Okay. So some people won't be comfortable because they feel like I've not been through what they've been through, or even demographically speaking, I can't relate to them. We're different socioeconomic statuses. There's a lot of different things that come up when it comes down to mentorship and reasons why people will hold back mentoring. So if you're someone that you're aspiring to have a mentor and you've been asking people, you think they're perfect for you and they've not responded, I would say just just keep moving forward and look for those that can. Because like I said, it could be a timing thing or it could just be a no. And they don't have the heart to come up to you and tell you why. And you just got to move forward with that. You can't even take things like that personally. You just got to move forward. Okay. Now, moving forward, speaking of first generation, studies show that, however, students that have their first generation, they have a mentor, they actually persist through college more so than their colleagues or their peers that do not have a mentor. It also shows that mentoring is a factor that is needed from first generation students to be successful in college. So it's something to consider for sure. Now, I do want to give advice for those that you might want to mentor, but you're not sure because the student's demographic, the student's background, the student's socioeconomic status, and they might differ from yours, but you might have a real pull towards that student, but you're like, they're just so different from me. Like, this is they're completely different demographic, or they've been through so much, I've been through nothing, or I'm a multimillionaire, they have nothing, or I have no common interests, but I have a desire to be a mentor. Okay, say that's you. I want to give you some advice because I'm going to be honest. If you don't feel like you're a good fit, or you don't feel like, or if you don't feel like you can do any good for that person, please don't mentor them. Secondly, if you are in someone's life, this is a test. If you're in someone's life and you see that they need a mentor to make them become a greater person and to achieve what they're called to do, and if you cannot see yourself contributing to their success and getting them to where they need to be, and you know you have the resources, the skill set, the connections to help to get them there, but you cannot see yourself doing that, or you cannot see yourself celebrating that person when them actually with them actually crossing over and becoming greater, do not touch that person as a mentor. You'll do more damage. Okay, I had an unfortunate situation happen where I had someone in my life that was a mentor, and I began to ask about a certain level of success, certain thing that I wanted to do in my life, and that person had not they had not attained that success. Um, and instead of supporting me, that person then started to change and could not support the idea of me crossing over into that new area in my life. And long story short, they became uh, a demotivator, a discouragement, and a hinderer to the exact thing that I knew God was calling me into. And so that's just one personal thing. So, like, say you coached basketball and you're okay with coaching basketball, and then you meet a student that's like, not only do I want to coach basketball, I want to open up a whole gym and then run a whole training course on how to coach for aspiring new athletes, out there. And you're like, wait, I didn't do all that. All I did was coach basketball. You're not going to show me up. If you have that type of mentality, take a seat, wait for someone else. Don't do any damage. I'm just being honest. Okay. Because you've got various levels of success. And sometimes God trusts you to mentor somebody and then they will surpass you. What do you do if somebody surpasses your success? Can you still mentor them? Or do you start sabotaging? Do you start hindering? Do you start tearing them down because they reached a level of success that's greater than yours? Whereas the whole thing about mentoring is the power of mentoring is that person, if you do it right, they will be a clone or they will surpass you. And if you're not mature enough to handle that greatness, their greatness, then don't do it. Same thing with parenting. Same thing with children. If you cannot handle your children one day growing up and being better than you, why have kids? You should consider taking a break from any aspirations of handling children at all, because children are designed to be great if you raise them right. They will be phenomenal if you do it right. And so I'm just telling you, just like a child will flourish and blossom into somebody. I'm so thankful for my children, and I have such high hopes for my kids. And I really do that. I believe that if the Lord tarries, there are going to be some powerhouses, world changers. They're going to do things that I only dreamt of. They're going to go so far, and I already tell them, y'all are better than me. Y'all are smarter than me. You're going to do more than me. I've set them up for that. Does that make sense? And so it's kind of like when you're mentoring someone, it should be the same thing. It should be giving value. Value. When you're giving constructive criticism, it should still be in love. God bless Dr. Clyburn. I remember one day I called him. We used to talk every day. And sometimes we talk for hours. And I remember one of the last times I spoke to him, I want to say this was around December of last year. And I was talking about something and I was just so vulnerable and just sharing my heart. And he ripped me a new one, but it was in love. And I remember being like, "Oh, ouch." But guess what? He was spot on. He was spot on. And all I could say was, you know what, Dr. Cliven, you're right. Thank you. And I took it and I chewed on it and I chewed on it and I thought about it and I just let it marinate. And it was beautiful because I knew he did it because he loved me. He cared. And that's what you want as a mentor. You want to get to that level where someone literally puts their life in your hands. They put their life in your hands. And then they say, help me grow. That's all. Help me grow how you think you know how to help me grow. And therefore, when you're being trusted to mentor someone, be careful not to abuse them emotionally, physically, verbally, because you might be thinking, okay, I talk like this all the time and this is acceptable for me, but you don't know what that person's pain points are. You don't know what their trigger points are. You don't know what they've been through. So it's imperative that we're very extra careful when you are mentoring what you say to people. Be careful if you're mentoring someone of a different demographic, that you're not saying terms that could be offensive, because to you, you might use an outdated, antiquated racial term. And you might think, oh, well, my day, that was fine. But guess what? It's still very triggery in this day. So you might want to avoid certain things like that. So I digress off of that. Another thing, though, is let's get back to this list here. So it says, consider any biases. If you do want to mentor, are you a good fit for that person? Personality-wise, your biases. Do you have some hidden biases? Like, do you think like, oh, that person's black, I'm white, so I automatically think this about them and I think this about me? Or do you think because they're from this demographic or they're from this socioeconomic status, they can only rise to a certain level? Or do you like pity them, because you think that they're less than you? Or, do you like, I don't know, there's so many different things here. Do you think that because they come from a certain background, a certain neighborhood, that nothing good can come out of that? Like, do you have these hidden biases that you're unaware of? Do you have to maybe journal this thing out and say, I got an issue with, because if you do, then you probably want to hold off for a minute and work on yourself to the place where your biases aren't hindering people and they're not hurting people. And there's also the implicit bias test, in case you're like, I have no biases. Okay, go to Harvard implicit bias test and take it for free, and then find out how you fit on the test. And then they even give you accommodations and recommendations. It's a great resource. Now, the next thing is being compassionate. So whenever you are being a mentor, do you have compassion? Do you look at that person not in a way like, oh, how pitiful, how pathetic? No. Do you look at that person and say, wow, out of all the stuff they had to go through, look at them still pushing. Look at them still making it. Wow. I can't wait to help them. Wow. I know I have this knowledge of this area that I know could help them. Let me help them with that. Compassion. Do you cry for them? Tears. Do you pray for them? Do you care for them? Do you love them? Do you stay up and concern about them? My mentor Sharon once called me about a personal situation I had going on years back. And she said she had a dream. And it was so funny because the dream, it was like, I felt like it was her way of getting a message from God that I was not okay. And I won't talk about the details of the dream, but it bothered her. It bothered her. And she was like, India, I had this dream and I think it's talking about you. And she said, and she used it in context of what it was like two animals given to her, but long story short, and she said, and that animal was not safe. And I have a feeling that it was you, and I know exactly how you feel. And I need to help you. And she was like, I will do anything I can to get you out of the situation. And she did. She helped me. But she didn't come at me like, "Oh, you're such a mess. How did you get yourself in this?" Like she helps me. And when you're being trusted to help someone, it's best to remember they're trusting you with their life. So guess what? You're going to get the good, the bad, and the ugly. Can you be trusted with the ugly though? Or are you going to crush them when they're down? It's very important to realize, do you have the character it takes to build someone even when they're at the lowest? Instead of pointing out the exact flaws and judging them when everyone sees their mess, and then you too could crush them and judge them. But do you decide to build them and to protect them and cover them instead? Because if so, those are the attributes that you definitely want to have as a mentor. Now, the next thing you want to do as a mentor is be patient. So, when I was being mentored in my earlier years, and I was being told that I had to go to a shelter for a situation that was beyond me, I can remember not knowing how to take in that information. Um, and so I kind of froze inside. I didn't really have a lot of emotion. I was so hurt that I grew numb. And Sharon was very patient with me because I didn't have a lot of words for her either. Not her fault. I just didn't know how to take life at the time. Thank God for my counselor, wonderful man, who helped me through that time. But long story short, she was very patient. She she wasn't demanding of anything. She wasn't very pressing about me opening up to communicate. She was just there. And that is the simplest way I can put that. She was just there, and it made the world of a difference. Another thing you want to do as a mentor is make sure you're leaving your judgments aside. And we spoke about this a little bit earlier. Um, huh. So, what happens in all of our lives is we get to a place where we become competent and proficient at many different things. You become experts. And so it's very, very, very easy to get caught in a trap of judging people that are just getting started, that didn't do life exactly the way you did it. And therefore, there are all of these different judgments. And so it's very imperative that when you decide to take on a young person, a person younger than you, or even your age, um, that you leave your judgments aside, because they're not there to be judged. They're there to be mentored. And there is a difference. And they can feel the difference. Listen, I'm gonna help some people out with this. Some people think they are so fabulous and that they're not doing anything wrong. And they are offending people left and right because of the silent vibes that they're giving off. And they don't even think that people are smart enough to pick it up. Guess what? There's a saying and it says, people can feel you before they see you. Literally, you can vibe a certain way or have a certain, yeah, you can have a certain vibe, a certain impression that you're giving off to someone where you are implicating to them, I think I'm better than you. I think you're less than me. I think you're not smart. I think that you're pitiful. You could say all of that to someone and not even open your mouth. All you have to do is give them a certain look and a certain vibe, boom, and they'll know. They'll know. People are smart. People can feel you before they can feel you. They can read you with their emotions. They can read you with the vibe that you're leaving them before you even open your mouth and say something to them. So with that said, we do that even in when we're dealing with people that we mentor. You can leave with making them feel judged. And they don't have to say. So it's like when you're trying to mentor, you have to be very careful not to leave a vibe of judgment, but leave a vibe of hope, leave a vibe of care and concern, because people feel that, and it's going to leave them feeling some type of way. And some people aren't as nice as others. Some might actually call you out on it and say something. And others might not say nothing at first, but they've got a sweet vengeance waiting in the in the years to come. So you got to be careful with that. Another thing when you're mentoring is give people a shot. You know, If you can't give someone a fair shot, and you're beating them up when you're kicking them when they're down, then don't mentor. Just don't. Just don't. It just find something else to do with your time, because I think that people are too hurt right now, especially in this era that we're in. People are so hurt and sensitive, and they're dealing with traumas. Some are seen and some are unseen, pain points, different things. We've got all the different things we've all had to deal with. And the last thing people need is to think that they have someone that is helping them. And then this person is automatically pulling the plug on them, blackmailing them, saying that, oh, well, it's over. I just can't. They don't need that. They need someone that can be loyal and commit, that can also be trusted with their life. Another thing I would say as well, advice that I have is number 7, stop with the what's in it for me. Some people are mentoring just so that it looks good on their resume, not even because they care for people. Their hearts are completely calloused. They don't care about the issues of those people. They don't care about their demographic. They don't care about their culture. They don't care about what they're going through. They just do it for social media promotion. They do it to check it off in their resume. That's the wrong reason to mentor. Okay. I have found that when people that I've been able to mentor, it's like God had just dropped them in my lap. Like they just like dropped in my life. Boom. There you go. Help them. Sometimes it's for 3 months. Sometimes it's for 10 years. Sometimes it's for 3 days. But guess what? I get the opportunity to have a little print in their life, and then they keep going. And guess what? I don't post it all on social media. Some people, they don't have to know about it. Some of the most greatest moments you can have in your life, you don't have to always post. Everybody doesn't have to know everything. And some of those moments are things that you do with people that you mentor. It's precious. It's valuable. Not everybody needs to know, And matter of fact, when you do it right, that person's going to post it later. And if you're doing it right, you don't always have to look for a return on investment. You just sow the seed. You just love anyhow. Stop looking for recognition. Stop looking for what's in it for me. If you're looking for it for those reasons, you're in it for the wrong reason. Sorry. You're in it for the wrong reason. And it makes me think we have to be careful if our heart's really not in it for that person. If you really don't truly care for that person, don't do it. And that's why that leads me to number 8, check your motives. You just got to check your motives. Why do you mentor? Why do you help students? Why do you help educators? Why do you help business people? Why do you help whoever you're helping? Why are you doing this? Why are you staying up late? Why are you tired? Why are you tired? Even today, if you mentored someone, you helped someone, why are you tired? Was it worth it? Or was this just another check off of the box to do just because I don't want to look bad in the eyes of my colleagues? Or are you doing this out of the heart, out of your heart? It's a heart issue. Check our motives just to make sure that we are above board, and that we're doing this with the right intentions. Another thing I say, and this is, for those that are believers, do it unto the Lord, because there are times that you're going to have to sacrifice and do things. And one thing I loved about mentoring is that when you're mentoring, sometimes it doesn't fit your 9-to-5 schedule. Sometimes you got to mentor on a Saturday at 10 o'clock. Sometimes you got to mentor 2 a.m. Are you willing to commit? And sometimes the only thing that can keep you going is I'm doing it unto the Lord. I'm doing it, just to please God and to help that person because I was called to that person. And I think that he'll reward you greatly for that. And the next one, the last one I have for you is ask another mentor who was successful. So sometimes you might not know necessarily how to mentor. You might be brand new at this. And someone that had a similar dynamic as the one that you're going to have as a mentor, or they've just been a successful mentor. Well, reach out to that person and ask them, hey, what did you do that helped you to be a successful mentor? And then listen, take notes and see how you can incorporate some of their advice into your expertise as a mentor. So with that, I hope that you guys received that message in love. Nothing but love for you. Thanks for dealing with my emotion today. And yeah, so with that said, this message is simply just about being a mentor and the power of mentorship. So again, thanks for tuning into the Real Talk Show. Again, the Real Talk Show will be aired on Monday through Friday at SoulNet WKDH radio station every Monday through Friday from 10 a.m. to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. So please tune in to www.soulnetwkdh.com to tune in. If you're wanting to be featured on the show, please send me an email and a photo and a bio at india.white.123@gmail.com. And to those that, you had a show planned and we postponed it due to, different setbacks that have taken place, thank you for your patience. And let's get those things going. The next one here, Facebook, please tune into Facebook, Miss India White. LinkedIn is The India White. Twitter is Indie Speak and Teach. Instagram is Indie238. And my YouTube channel is India White 123. Okay. And so again, the Real Talk Show will also be aired on Swain Girl Media Channel, hosted by Precious Swain on Firestick. Sorry. So please tune in there for more details to come. And of course, please don't forget to check out my website. I'm very excited with the changes that have been on there. I've had some wonderful people that have been able to add and contribute to that. It has not been a one-man show by far. I'm thankful for every team, every person that has helped me with that and has been so patient and precious. So thank you to all of you that have ever helped me in any way, ever. And so with that said, again, this show I did in honor of my mentors, Dr. Clyburn, and Vicky, and for the impact that they had on my life. And I can tell you that I would not be who I am today if it was not for those wonderful mentors. Both of them, helped me with this latest honor of Gators 40 under 40, which, by the way, we will be celebrating all of these Gators. We will all be there next Saturday at the O'Connell Center at 9 o'clock in the morning. So if you can make it, please join us out at the O'Connell Center at University of Florida, 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. To join the rest of the Gators 40 under 40. And so with that said, guys, please check out my webpage as well for any of my book projects, just, supporting any way that you can. If you need a set of books or you just want to buy one and things like that, then you can definitely feel free to tune in. The last one I did write was A Journal for Every Apostolic Believer. I have a couple of other projects online. So thank you so much for all of your contributions and for all of your support. No, I don't know it all, but one thing I have with me is and I will see you guys next time. Again, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, I can see some of you out at the O'Connell Center next Saturday. So I don't know if you can make it out. Please let me know. Have a wonderful night, and I'm going to end the show until next time. Take care. Go be a mentor.